Okay, hi guys, and welcome to the show. And before we roll the intro and get on with the main part of the episode, another unboxing. I know it's become a bit of a habit, but there's just so many things incoming and outgoing. I think I'll have to start almost every episode with an unboxing. Quick drum roll. Wow, very nice letter. A few words in the background. I saw the video where you talk about shaving. Mostly you get it right there, except that awful, or ghastly as you may say, plastic razors. Yes, I know, I'm a bit of a cheapskate when it comes to the razors. And he goes on to say, find German-made DE razor. I hope you enjoy this little present. Keep up the good work on the channel, and please remember I'm more than happy to help with your travel plans for Germany. Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much, Andreas. There we go. I think you pronounce it Mule. I'm not quite sure, but you guys can help me out. Let's have a look. Bang. Oh, I got some shaving products. Blades. Wow, look at that. Absolutely stunning. A logo on the back. Beautifully made thing. Oh, fantastic. There you go. Wow. Thank you so much, Andreas. This is fantastic. This is going to last me a lifetime. Lots of different type of razors. Fantastic. Wow. What a present. Absolute pure class. Look at that. Thank you so much, Andreas. Love it. Absolutely love it. Can't wait to use it. Thank you so much. Anyway, without further ado, let's roll the intro and get on with the show. Hi guys, and welcome to today's show. Today we're going to do another episode of Wristwatch Talk. Haven't done one of these for a while. I saw a fantastic comment, a question really, in response to one of the last videos, and that was, is it worth it really spending over $1,000 on a watch? So I thought today we'd kind of tackle that one, because it's not a straight yes or no answer. It's quite an interesting point for the discussion. And of course, I got to do wristwatch check. And you're probably wondering, what on earth am I wearing? Actually, this belongs to my wife. I bought it for her as a present. I bought it on her birthday. I got her this and the Cartier tank. She'd always wanted the gold tone little Casio here, and it's so 80s. As she steals my Seiko Saab all the time, I thought, why not wear this myself? Oh my gosh, it really brings back so many memories of the 80s. In fact, so much so, last night I went on to eBay and I ordered the stainless steel version. I think about 30 to 40 bucks. It's such fun for the money. This particular one, and let me get the reference right, is the A168WG9, and it, of course, as you can see, it's the gold tone version with a really beautiful illuminator backlight, chronograph, date, alarm. Really fun. So I thought I'd just kind of wear it. It's so comfortable, and the bracelet, it's very cheap, flimsy, but it's so comfortable. Actually, this really ties in nicely with what we're discussing today. So let's get on with the discussion. And of course, please add your comments down below. I'd love to hear back from you guys. So is it worth spending over $1,000 on a watch? The answer, it's not black and white. For some people, it absolutely is. For the horological snobs, anything below, I depends what where their snobbery starts, I guess. For a lot of people, they don't see the merits of spending any more than a few $100s. So it's different for everybody. And I think what is important is that we are open and respect everybody's point of view. But one thing is absolutely fact, and the more you spend, obviously, the more you're going to get in terms of more prestigious brand, the brand's history, the exclusivity of the piece, if it's in limited amounts, The higher the quality, obviously the more you spend, the quality is going to go up. More refined the craftsmanship and the manufacture of the watch. You're going to start to see things like precious metals, maybe even entirely made out of precious metals, decorated movements. Obviously, you're going to start to see this. But where does it end? Is there a kind of ceiling to where it's all different for everybody. It's different strokes for different folks. It really is. I've gone full circle. I must admit, I've gone really full circle. I started off this channel reviewing Aquases and my Squire and things like that around the $1,000 mark. As the 2 years have gone past, I've gained access to a lot of more high-end pieces. I tried on my first Lange in London, in Harrods, if you guys remember. What else? I've had time to experience APs, plethora of Rolexes, IWCs. The list is endless. And I've also acquired a few more high-end pieces myself. But I'm still yearning for an Aquis. And this might not be for everybody. There is a tendency to climb the tiers, to keep going upwards. Some of you might just be on that trajectory. You might just be, as soon as you get your Submariner, you might do away with the SKX. Other people are not interested in climbing at all. They're quite completely happy with their SKX. It's a very subjective thing, but it depends on the buyer. It depends on their needs, their desires, the purpose of the watch, and the function. It really depends on the function, what you want that watch for. If you do care about investing, buying a watch for investment, buying a watch for status or refinement, then of course it does matter. You're looking for very specific things. Personally, I'm into the fun. It's nice that a watch is sellable later on and I get some money back. It's not the be all and end all. It's not my number one priority. My number one priority is fun, right? No matter if it's $40 or 40 grand. Sometimes actually I get more fun out of the less expensive pieces. If I was wearing a 40 grand watch, I'd probably be worried about banging it, and that's a whole nother story. That kind of leads on to the question, do you get more enjoyment the more money you spend? Personally, I don't think so. Some people do. Some people really do care about the logo and the status. One thing we do all have in common, and that is watches give us all enjoyment, whether it's 40 grand or 40 bucks. Never buy a watch to impress other people. I've said this many times. It's got to be for you. Buy a watch for how it makes you feel, how the enjoyment it will bring to you, because at the end of the day, you're the one wearing it, right? So it's got to give you the happiness. If the happiness is showing off and caring about status and showing off wealth, I do find that distasteful, and I'm sure a lot of you will agree. But if you are into that, then obviously that's what makes you happy, and go for that diamond encrusted Patriot GMT, right? Then go for it if that's what really makes you happy. But I think it's important to the watch has got to impress you. It's got to be your own thing. And going back to the original question, if a watch under $1,000 can do that, then great, then you don't need to spend over $1,000. But there's one thing that is prevalent and kind of plagued the community and the hobby in general, and that is the snobbery. I don't find the same kind of thing in computer games or clothes. I mean, there's always a little bit of a kind of hierarchical pecking order of looking down on other people. That's human beings are all insecure. It doesn't matter if we're talking about cars or there's always a little bit of competitiveness or keeping up with the Joneses kind of attitude. I think that's with all things, but it is more prevalent in watches. For that reason, I don't understand. My only kind of observation on that has got to be maybe the hobby has been led astray a little bit by the obsession with luxury. They've become an aspirational, a status symbol rather than the tools. I mean, the Submariner is a perfect example. Something that used to cost under $1,000 decades ago is now, or even more so, that it was originally a tool, is now a status symbol. It's very peculiar. I mean, that's all to do with marketing. At the end of the day, horology to a certain point, it did become a status symbol. Even clocks like a Louis XIV Ormolu clock, for example, it's a very ornate. It is about power. It is about showing off. So there's always been a little bit of that in there. Traditionally, clocks and watches were a refinement of the more wealthy, right? So I can see why it's continued. All people have to remember, and especially the snobs, is that the watch doesn't make the man. The man makes the watch, and I think people do lose sight of that. It's a discussion we've had many, many times. They put so much importance into possessions and material things. They think that's what makes them. The car they drive, the suits they wear, the watch, the logo on the watch. My viewers, who are among the most intelligent, definitely on YouTube, we all know that a person should be judged on their morals, whether they're a good person rather than the things they own. I mean, it's obvious, right? It's common sense. But I think the watch snobs do kind of forget that. Petty bourgeoisie, pecking order, it is slightly vulgar, and it's ironic that all the most affluent, educated, cultured and classy people I've ever met, I'm not kidding, that they mostly wore a Swatch or a Timex. It's almost as if they don't need to compete. But I think to bring it right back, you have to ask yourself, to the person who's wondering, is it worth spending over $1,000? It depends what you're looking for. If it is an investment, if it is something that you don't want to lose money, then perhaps it is worth spending more. If it's a tool, if it's something for fun, for every day, then probably not. And it depends on the reasons why you want to watch in the first place. I'm a big advocate of, especially the entry level to the mid-range, because they're highly overlooked. You can get so many amazing watches for under $1,000. As we've seen with the Oris, the little moon phase I picked up, that has brought me so much joy. And I was even contemplating saving up for the Juge Lecoultre, the Ultra. Don't get me wrong, I love that watch and I would love to own that watch, but at the end of the day, at the moment, I'm not in an economic position strong enough to afford something like that. I could barely afford the Oris. But I've got that enjoyment. I got the little moon phase in there. It's Swiss made, and the deals are out there. And that's partly why I actually started the channel, is because I wanted to bring awareness. A lot of people, they just think, oh, there's the fashion watch in Macy's, and then there's Rolex and everything else. There's so much fun and enjoyment to enjoy in between there. If you want to use it as a stepping stone until you get that grail watch, then fine, by all means. There's so much fun to be had. There's so many amazing watches that, until you tried them, maybe you don't need to spend $9,000 and all the rest of it. That little moon phase, I'd be proud to hand it down to the next generation. It's perfectly fine. It's a great brand. It's a great watch. It's beautifully designed. It's elegant. It just goes to show what you can get. Again and again, I find myself coming back to some of my first watches, my SKX, my Flightmaster. I'm still this close to buying an Aquis. Unfortunately, at the moment with medical bills and all the rest of it, I can't even afford an Aquis. So my buying days are over for a long, long time. The Navitime is another example. I get an immense amount of satisfaction, but not really any more or less than when I strap on my Flightmaster. My Flightmaster has been with me on so many great moments, especially walking Little Ernie, that it's become very, very special. And I do get a lot of enjoyment because of all the functions it has, and for $200, very, very hard to beat. Hand on heart, it really is equal. My watches are special in their own individual way. For me, it's a tough one. Really is a tough one. So I really want to hear back from you guys. What is the watch that has given you the most fun, enjoyment in life? Is it the more expensive of your collection? Maybe you just have an only high-end collection and you don't get any enjoyment from the more affordable stuff. Or maybe, like the gentleman actually posted this comment in the first place, he actually said he's owned expensive watches, he sold them all and went back to affordable Japanese divers because he just didn't see the merit in having all these luxury timepieces. If you're in that boat, I'd love to hear from you. Comments, queries, questions, all the rest of it down below. I'd really love to hear your opinions on your most enjoyable watches, and if it's price related especially. Is it your most expensive watch? Is it your most affordable? Or, you know, how does it work for you? Please do share below. Thank you very, very much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it and found it useful. It really does help me. So please don't forget to hit that like button. And as always, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, ciao.